Yo! What's up, everybody? It's your boy Heems, and guys, we are back with another reaction video. As promised, guys, you guys suggested it. We're going to get back into it. We are about to check out part 2 of the true Dragon Ball GT power scale, and this is by, shouts out to the homie Eternal Flame for sitting there giving us the suggestion. Because of him, guys, this actually helped me out too, as far as like with just the whole like canon and non-canon, because that always sat there and has been something that always, like, you know, made me curious, wanted to know. And like I said, over time, you know, it was just so many different, at least what appear to be inconsistencies in the whole show and series, and I wish they would have clarified a few more things just to make everything run smoother. You know, at the end of the day though, I always love the animation of it. This was one of my favorites, especially at the time of 2004, and honestly, no, I'm not gonna lie, still is. Watching Dragon Ball Super now, and I know people are controversial about it. They're like, oh my god, you dare make mention of Super, but it still is a favorite of mine. I love the Super Saiyan God forms, and I've always had my theories. Now, some people will say that Super Saiyan 4 supersedes Super Saiyan God, but I myself believe that Super Saiyan God supersedes anything else. And because of the fact that Toriyama is behind it, it compared to this, they basically, it was more of the company and everybody else that was behind GT that was like, hey, we want to keep the series going. Akira Toriyama at the time was done with the series of Dragon Ball Z as a whole, including the manga and everything. But because of, you know, everybody like, nah, we want to keep this going, and here's our concept, we believe that we could keep this going, Akira Toriyama just simply said, hey, you go ahead. He wasn't directly involved in it, and throughout the production and everything, he just simply gave the green light. But I will say though, for something that was a sequel to an anime without the manga being behind it, or the original creator of it to be behind it, I still think for its time it's still pretty good, and it's still a classic. My favorite saga was both the Baby Saga as well as the Shadow Dragon Saga. Super 17 was cool as far as at least the ending of it, the fight, everything that led up to it, including like the visit to like a Frieza and Cell. Yeah, it was one of those, like, it was okay, but then at the same time that sparked so much, because you've seen that even like in the video game Dragon Ball GT Final Bout, if you remember the opening, and then look what happened. We got the resurrection of Frieza over this time. Then even Cell came back, even though he's not exactly his full self. But to see them both resurrected like that, that inspiration came a lot from like stuff like from what happened in GT and so forth. So guys, without further ado, before we go further, if you like the video, please smash the like button for your boy. Don't forget to subscribe to your boy at Heemscast Gaming. Share this video, share this channel, raid, host, all are welcome and greatly appreciated. To anybody that want to catch me stream, we're streaming Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. With late starts between 6:15, 6:30, and 7 p.m. Currently, guys, we're doing an experiment and trying 4 p.m. to see if that's going to be something that we're going to try to gear towards, or if we're going to still stick for the same schedule. Weekends are open schedule, so anything goes. Your boys on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Trovo, and D Live. I stream on all 5 platforms at the exact same time. Now, currently, guys, your boy is working between 6 to 8 days a week, including pickups and overtime. The grind is real for your boy. Make sure you follow your boy on Instagram, Twitter, Discord, and Snapchat for updates and more. Without further ado, let's check this video out.
Now, this is the kind of power I'd be running away from if I were you.
What's going on, everybody? It's Jay, and finally, yes, finally, I've made the part 2 of the Dragon Ball GT power scale. In my month hiatus from YouTube, I was able to accumulate 48,000 followers on TikTok, so hey, there's that. So this is long awaited, and I'm not going to pull a Corey. I'm not going to leave you guys waiting any longer, so...
You really had to go there, man, bring up Corey X Kenshin. I mean, I am a fan of him, but no, he actually... Damn, that's funny he said that.
I'm going to stay more consistent in the future, but hey, If you didn't watch part 1 already, make sure you go do that because it explains a lot of the points that I make in this video. So now that that's all out the way, make sure to like and subscribe and let's get into it. In my first part, I already explained why General Rildo is the strongest in the scale so far, being 50 million times stronger than base form Goku in the Buu Saga, adding the multipliers making him 125,000 times stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku. A controversial statement that I made back in my first part was that base Goku in the Rildo arc is stronger than base Vegito from Dragon Ball Z. I gave a ton of evidence and scaling for it, but people don't believe it and try to bring up the scan about saying that Super Saiyan 4 is equal to Super Vegito.
What? Now that I don't agree with. You know, at this point, it's been so many years since then, like, because even for the fact that Goku can't say it now, again, that could have been voice acting, but then you also remember they talked about in the subtitles where Goku even mentioned that he's stronger than Buu. Now, even that opened up a door to, well, which Majin Buu? Was it Kid Buu? Was it Super Buu? Was it? But it has been time. And then the thing is, too, even though, like, for example, like Vegeta, he's not exactly stronger than Goku per se, but they all did train for years even after that. So it is possible for them to go above and beyond their original saga limit. So I'm going to give this man credit to say that it is very believable. It's basically credible, I believe, to say that they definitely superseded their previous time frame.
This scan is easily debunkable because 1, it doesn't even say Goku's name in the scan, it just says Super Saiyan 4. Also, this entire scan is from a multiplier video, like how strong is Super Saiyan 2, 3, and so on, and ending with Potara fusion being possibly stronger than Super Saiyan 4 as a multiplier and not power-wise. This is also easily debunked by Baby saying that he's obtained the greatest of Saiyan power and Goku agreeing with him, even though Baby and Goku both have memories of Vegito since they're both Goku and Vegeta. This entire debunk is completely pointless because of the entire information I gave in my first part explaining why Goku is much stronger than base Vegito and Super Vegito. Now, there were some people saying that Buuhan is not stronger than Kid Buu, which I'm not about to go into right now because that's absolutely ridiculous and I'll make a different video for that in a different day. So let's move on.
And that was always one of the ones, like I said, I remember back in the past, but people were always curious, was Kid Buu stronger? Because literally we thought, because you remember there was the reference that Vegeta made during Super Buu's transformation. He's like, how's it that his power is increasing instead of decreasing? So I'm like, okay, this guy got to be super strong. But something that people were saying, he's actually stronger than his predecessor, just the original Super Buu, but he wasn't stronger than like Buuhan or Bootinks. So it wasn't overkill, because when you think about it, when Goku even went Super Saiyan 3 for Bootinks, it was no contest. He literally had his butt handed to him. Something I would like to know from you guys, though, is even with that, with Bootinks, could Gohan, if he had took it serious, if he didn't let the head games get to him, could he have beaten Bootinks, or was that just simply beyond him? And then, well, with the Buuhan, it was a wrap. Nobody can mess with him.
With the scale. After the gang defeat General Rildo, they end up coming home to find that the entire world is being controlled by a parasitic alien called Baby. Now, Baby is definitely one of the coolest villains and the most difficult
I'll give him that, yeah.
But we're gonna push through this. Before it can scale Baby directly, we first have to scale the Baby Boost, or the power amp that you get once Baby possesses your body. We see Baby do this with Gohan, Goten, and just random citizens that he controls throughout the city. And finding the multiplier for this amp is really quite simple. All we have to do is compare how strong Super Saiyan Vegeta got before Baby possessed his body and how strong he got afterwards. So before Baby took Vegeta's body, he was able to keep up with Super Saiyan Gohan and base form Goten, with the Baby boost being stacked on top of them. Now, there was no clear-cut winner in this fight, and it could have gone either way if Baby didn't have interfered. Going by this, we can at least put Super Saiyan Vegeta equal to the duo of Goten and Gohan with the Baby boost inside of them. And this is all before Baby possessed his body. Now, why is all this important? The reason this is so crucial is because we can compare this to base form Goku. This Goku, after coming back from his grand tour, is able to easily destroy the duo of Gohan and Goten as Super...
Did not say that in the previous video, and that was something I was curious about, like how strong, because like Vegeta goes Super Saiyan for you know, Gohan and Goten. Goku didn't have to do that. He just sat there and he flicked off a blast. But then there's also, and God, that's where the controversy comes in. It's like, well, but were they really being serious when they tried to attack Goku at that time? Vegeta's personality in general, he never holds back. So being at his normal form was never his thing. He always wanted to max out as soon as he could. Even saying that kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like, you know, they both trained. Don't get it twisted. I believe that Vegeta was training too, but he didn't have somebody to actively keep pushing him since he was training with Oob. He had that constant pressure, whereas Vegeta, he still grew stronger, but not to the level of, it was still like a little bit of a margin gap between them, and let alone transformation-wise, the gap was still big.
Super Saiyans with the baby boost, and Vegeta was only able to keep up.
But that doesn't make Vegeta a slouch by no means. Yeah.
With a Super Saiyan Gohan and base form Goten with the baby boost. Goku was heavily holding back against his sons. One, he didn't want to kill them because, you know, they're his sons. And two, he was literally giving one arm to each of them. Mind you, he's in his base form. Now, the reason this is so important is because when Super Saiyan Vegeta with baby inside of him shows up, he absolutely destroys Super Saiyan 3 Goku in a fight. And we already know this to be a 400 times multiplier on top of Goku's base form. And before you say anything about this not being baby Vegeta's Super Saiyan form, in the GT Perfect Files it literally states that instead of baby's hair turning gold, it turns white. Meaning what everybody calls base baby is actually a Super Saiyan.
That is true, because when you see him sit there and power up, you do see the aura as he transforms. So that is true. I've never gotten this book, and I've heard people say that this was a good guide to the whole series.
So yes, this is a Super Saiyan Vegeta with baby inside of him. Now remember, Super Saiyan Vegeta goes from being equal to the two brothers to being stronger than a Super Saiyan 3 Goku. This means that the baby boost at bare minimum is 450 times stronger than someone's initial power, giving the person that he possesses a 450 times boost. Now, how does this all contribute to the scale of Goku in this? Well, the first thing that we have to do is find out how strong is Goten and Gohan in Dragon Ball GT. In the GT Perfect Files, it states that Gohan never stopped his training.
What?
And not only has attained his mystic powers, but is actually built upon it.
Whoa.
And not only has attained
Back that up.
Goten and Gohan in Dragon Ball GT. In the GT Perfect Files, it states that Gohan never stopped his training and not only has attained his mystic powers, but is actually built upon it, even stacking Super Saiyan on top of it. This means
That's freaking crazy. Hey. You know what? If that's in the Perfect Files, and that's funny because I remember hearing about this book and never got it. That throws out everything I used to think about with Gohan. I thought Gohan like had really lost a lot of his power because you don't see, but then again, it was his build and the way he looked like, because at one point when Gohan does his first initial attack possessed by baby, he's like, nah, that blast was way too weak. That should have, he's like, tell me who you are. And he's just sitting there like stacked like that. I'm like, wait, is he in mystic form at this point? What's going on? And then when you think about it, he actually, when he did that powered up Kameo wave to Android Super 17, everybody had to stand clear of that. Now, I think in general, everybody was staying clear of an explosion, but if this is true and Gohan basically just stacked his Super Saiyan on top of it, then that definitely made him on a whole nother level. Damn. And he did give Vegeta a run for his money in that Baby Saga, because I've never seen that part before, but when he dragged his head into the concrete like that, that was harsh.
Means unlike his Dragon Ball Super counterpart, he's actually pretty strong in this series from the get-go.
Wow.
Now, finding out how truly powerful Gohan is, we have to look at what he's done. Gohan, in his base form, was confident that he could take on General Rildo in his first form. Now remember, General Rildo is stronger than Buhan from Dragon Ball Z, or equivalent to base form Vegito in Dragon Ball Z. And base Gohan was confident enough that he could take him on, and he was doing quite well against him, and the only reason I see that he lost this fight is because of his lack of experience. It wasn't like he was getting overpowered, he was just getting outwitted. And Gohan's not the one to underestimate his opponents. If he believes that he can beat someone, then he's most likely right.
I will give him that, because like literally he didn't know that he could sit here and turn him into metal, and that like threw him off entirely and completely. That just did my heart good. I ain't gonna lie, that did my heart good to know that Gohan was still actually continuing his training, because I was like, I just hated how they downplayed through my eyes of Gohan, especially like even like in Super, like he forgets in short of 6 months or so how to become Mystic, and gets his butt handed to him by Frieza so bad. And to see him like it, like I always been, because like I don't know, like I said, like his character to me, and I mentioned that even like in streams, like he kind of reminds me of me to a small degree, of like he doesn't like to hurt. He, you know, you have to push him to a point of doing something before he really can, and it's always that for him to be the strongest person that he is, like, or talented, like there's always doubt. He constantly questions himself moment to moment, even after all the battles and all the endeavors and even overcoming and achieving new levels, he still doubts himself.
Means that we can accurately put Gohan around the same level as base form Goku in the General Rildo Saga. This means that his Super Saiyan is also equivalent to Super Saiyan Goku in this arc. Now with the baby boost on top of this, which I already said was a 450 times boost, Gohan is now 22,500 times stronger than base form Goku in the Rildo arc, since Super Saiyan is a times 50 and then times 450 for the baby boost. Now where does Goten scale? Now, when Goten first encountered Baby, he stated that he was the strongest opponent he's ever seen. Now, who is the strongest person that Goten has ever been up against? The strongest person Goten has ever fought was Super Buu as Gotenks. This means that before Baby possesses anyone, well, anyone important, that is, he's already accumulated enough energy to even surpass Super Buu. And, well, base Goten easily destroys him. And he only goes Super Saiyan in this fight for overkill purposes. But yeah.
And I like that too, even like with Goten's personality, because like, and that even shows that he actually grew up, he grew stronger. Because the way I came into GT, I was like, you know, it's been a peaceful time, you know, everybody's chilling. But then when you think about it, this actually even makes me want to go back and rewatch the series, because it's like, you actually do. I remember that Goten was like easily whooping him even in his normal form, but then he went Super Saiyan to try to really finish the job.
Base form Goten easily dominates a Super Buu level or higher character. So with this, Goten can be scaled to be around the same level as base GT Goku in the Lord LUUD arc. And when he goes Super Saiyan, he's equivalent to base GT Goku in the Rildo arc. Adding the baby boost, which is a 450 times boost, this makes Goten 50 times stronger than a hypothetical Super Saiyan 3 in the Rildo Saga. This means collectively, as Super Saiyans, Goten and Gohan are 22,950 times stronger than base form Goku in the Rildo Saga, or 22,950 times stronger than base Vegito from Dragon Ball Z. Even with their immeasurable power, they get absolutely no diffed by base Goku in the Baby Saga. This means that Goku got well over 22,950 times stronger than he was in the previous arc. Now moving on to Baby. Baby, in his Super Saiyan form, tanked a Super Saiyan 3 Goku's punch. This means that Baby Vegeta's Super Saiyan form and Super Saiyan 3 Goku aren't equivalent at all. This means that Goku is more comparable to Baby Vegeta's base form as a Super Saiyan 3 than anything. That means that Goku needs to get a 400 times boost on top of his base form just to have a glimmer of hope of victory.
Yeah.
As the story continues, we see Baby Vegeta use Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 3, which is a 400 times boost on top of his already powerful base form.
Now that was a theory I always wanted people to answer. That's interesting. Because yeah, Super Baby has no eyebrows. And everybody, I was wondering, was that in fact because like Vegeta had achieved Super Saiyan 3 through Baby? I like they brought that up.
Super Saiyan 3 Goku needs to match up with. This means that Goku needs to get 160,000 times stronger than he was just to match Super Saiyan 3 Baby. And as we see later in the story, Baby goes into a golden grade ape Uzaru and closes the gap between Super Saiyan 4 and him. Now what is the boost for Baby Uzaru? Well, in the GT Pirate files it states that Baby got 1,000 times the normal blood swave's amount than a normal Saiyan would. Saiyans need 17 million Xenos to transform into a golden grade ape. And we know the grade ape transformation equates to a 10 times boost. This means that if Baby was exposed to 1,000 times the normal amount, this means that he got 10,000 times stronger than his Super Saiyan 3. Since you give him the 10 times boost for Ozaru, and then the 1,000 times for the Blood Swaves amount. This means that base GT Goku needs to get 160,000 times stronger just to match Super Saiyan 3 Baby, and then once he goes Great Ape, Goku needs to get 10,000 times stronger than that just to be equivalent, which is exactly what Super Saiyan 4 is. This means that you multiply the 160,000 times 10,000. This equals 1,600,000,000 times base form. Yeah, that's the multiplier for Super Saiyan 4. This means that Goku as a Super Saiyan 4 is 91,800,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 times stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku
That's
in
fair.
the Buu Saga. And this isn't even him at his strongest. The second most powerful version of Super Saiyan 4 is Full Power Super Saiyan 4. This isn't a transformation, it's more like Goku using 100% of Super Saiyan 4. So let's see what he's done in this form. In this form, he was able to tank a Death Ball from Baby. And not just any Death Ball, the Blazing Death Ball, or his most ultimate attack. And from what we see in Dragon Ball, key attacks can actually amp the power of the user quite significantly actually. For instance, Goku goes from being a power level of 416 to when blasting a full power Kamea Wave to going up to 924. He gets 2.2 times stronger just by firing a Kamehameha. And the biggest boost for a blast.
That and on top of that, like they're basically hiding their power level. Like they can actually raise it through each attack and as they continue to fight. Because when Raditz, yeah, he short played his brother. He thought like he could easily, and then as soon as he saw, he was like, oh, that Kamea. And I think Raditz's was like either like at 1,200. So even at 1,200, that's still hectic. So he ran from that one.
Last I'd say is with Vegeta against Goku. Goku goes from a power level of 8,000 to stacking on Kaioken times 3 and getting a power level of 24,000. We know that Vegeta at full power is 18,000, so it makes sense why he was able to get dominated by Goku. You take the 24,000 and divide it by 18,000, you get 1.3 times stronger. This means that Goku was 1.3 times stronger than Vegeta, and then you give him the 2.2 times boost for his full power Kamehameha, and that makes Goku 3.5 times stronger than Vegeta. And Vegeta was able to close this gap by firing one Gallic Gun. This means that ultimate attacks can boost your power up to 3.5 times your normal power. And for this baby Vegeta Death Ball in question, we're gonna give it the 3.5 times boost because this is his final and most powerful attack. But since Goku tanked this attack, I have to go over one more thing, and that's called the Domination Multiplier. What I mean by this is I'm trying to find the multiplier, or how much stronger a person has to be in order for them to dominate their opponent in battle. So the lowballed calculation for a domination would be 1.2, because Vegeta's power level on Namek was 24,000, and he completely dominated Kui, who had a power level of 18,000. That means at bare minimum, the multiplication is a 1.2 times boost. This means in total, Goku as a full power Super Saiyan 4 is 4.7 times stronger than he initially is, or 7,520,000,000 times stronger than his base form. Now moving on to the next arc, Goku comes back and fights.
Now, when they sat there and did that, because that's another thing they talk about too, or they'll mention at some point, I'm assuming it's about like Super Saiyan 4. Super Saiyan 4 is one of its abilities is to absorb ki. And I thought at the time, like, you know, when Pan, Gohan, Trunks, Goten, they all gave him power, I thought that it just gave him just enough just to get him back to his stack to where he was. But when you look at it, he actually did gain more. And then on top of that, I'm curious as to when he absorbed that Revenge Death Ball, how much more power did he get from that? Because he had to have gotten a lot from that.
It's Super 17. Super 17 is easily stronger than baby Vegeta because he's...
The only reason I liked Super 17, it was just the look, because I like he had the blazer on, like, and he was stacked up taller. The transformation was good. I just wish they would have did a lot more with that fight.
Literally able to stand there and let Majub, who's relative to Super Saiyan 3 baby Vegeta, just punch him in his back. And I'm gonna use the domination.
And that's crazy now that you think about it. Like that much of a gap. Because I was like, he literally just absorbed Buu and became Majub. And he was actually going toe to toe. He made his mistake with that damn technique and ended up reversing the chocolate on himself. But to go from that now to Super 17 and that short of a time and that's that much more stronger. Whew.
Multiplier here and say that Super Saiyan 3 baby Vegeta is 1.2 times stronger than Majub was. This means that Majub was 333 times stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku in the baby saga. But when Goku comes back from being trapped in hell, his Super Saiyan is already superior to Super 17. This means that Goku got 3,196 times stronger than he was in the baby arc. Since you take the already 333 times strong.
And also, not to mention, now a person may be like, well, because I even for a fraction of such as thought about that, like, yeah, but how? Like, but don't forget too, he grew his tail back. That, and also they don't talk about the Zenkai boost, and to mention like Goku's training, because Goku did not exactly stop training after that, and that's the one like that always continues, even for Vegeta in throughout GT as well, because Vegeta even stacked up a bit more than he did before.
Stronger than Majub was to Super Saiyan 3 Goku in the baby saga, and you multiply that by 8 because Goku's Super Saiyan is now stronger than that. And then you give him the 1.2 times boost because he's able to keep up with the Super 17 who dominates Majub. This means that Goku as a Super Saiyan 4 is 1 sextillion, 378 quintillion, 946 quadrillion, 160 trillion times stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku in the Buu Saga. Moving on to the final arc in Dragon Ball GT, the Shadow Dragon arc.
Yeah.
In this arc, Goku as a Super Saiyan 4 fights Omega Shenron, who tanks his times 10 Kamehameha. We know that a regular Kamehameha multiplies your power by 2.2. This means that if this Kamehameha is 10 times stronger than that, that makes the blast in total 22 times stronger than Goku. And then you give Sin Shenron the 1.2 times boost because he absolutely tanked the Kamehameha. This makes him 26.4 times stronger than Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And this is when Goku unlocks the second and final and most powerful form of Super Saiyan 4, Ultra Full Power Super Saiyan 4. In this form, Goku was able to easily destroy Sin Shenron, who was already 26.
Now, they say Ultra Super Saiyan 4, so is that like a completely different transformation? Because I thought, in all honesty, back then, like, for dramatic sake, you know how like they do the animation, like you see him like, oh, he transforms into the ape. Was that really him, or was it more of a metaphorical type of image of him like transform, or like just, you know, like it's like with Naruto, if you guys know what I'm talking about, like you remember when Sasuke like is, you know, just standing there and Naruto's getting angry, you see the nine-tailed fox. That doesn't mean, I don't know, it's not like you really see the nine-tailed. He just knew that there was something like danger heading his way, but like for our eyes, for us as viewers, it's like also indicate like danger, but you also know that the nine-tails is behind it. But that that actually is like a definitely like a second transformation from Ultra Super Saiyan 4. That's actually pretty interesting.
0.4 times stronger than his initial Super Saiyan 4. And since Goku dominated him, this gives him a 1.2 times boost on top of that. This makes Ultra Full Power Super Saiyan 4 31.6 times stronger than initial Super Saiyan 4. Or 238,233,600,000 times stronger than his base form. This is the final multiplier for Super Saiyan 4. However, his attack potency is 10 times this because he's able to damage Omega Shenron, who is 10 times stronger than Sin Shenron.
I will give him that, because he did. If they would have, in that situation, if everybody would have grabbed the Dragon Balls, or if, I don't know, if Goku could have grabbed the Dragon Balls and not let him combine, he could have actually did it.
Now here is where it gets absolutely crazy. As we know from scaling the multipliers of fusion, the base form of the fusion is 2,500 times stronger than a Super Saiyan 3, or 1 million times someone's base form. Now adding the initial Super Saiyan 4 multiplier, this makes Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta 1 quadrillion, 600 trillion times stronger than base form Goku. And even with all this power, Omega Shenron believed that the negative Karma Ball would be enough to kill Gogeta. As we see from the anime, it wasn't enough, but we did see Omega confident enough that if he used it against Gogeta, he believed that it would kill him. This blast is easily, and I mean easily, stronger than 2 Super Saiyan 4s put together. And it can give someone enough confidence to use it against a fused being in Super Saiyan 4. Now this is where the impossible becomes possible. Base form Goku was able to hold back a blast.
I wanted to know about that one. Like, literally, if it took Gogeta to sit here and have to, and Gogeta is OP, how did a freaking tired out and worn out Goku be able to take this? A Kid Goku, come on.
That was meant to kill 2 Super Saiyan 4s put together, and was even believed to have been able to damage Super.
Now, whether he gives us a full analyze or whatever, we're just gonna go ahead and call it for what it is. Plot armor. You can't beat plot armor. Impossible.
Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Not only does he hold this blast back, he actually tanks the entire explosion because he lives. And before you guys say that it was just the work of Shenron, there is no clear-cut evidence that he died at all, or that Shenron brought him back to life or made a deal with him about anything about coming back to life or being invulnerable to attacks. With this, Omega Shenron starts plummeting Goku with a ray of Ki Blast and even throws another negative Karma Ball at him, which he tanks easily in his base form. He doesn't even feel it. This means, believe it or not, that base GT Goku is stronger than 2 Super Saiyan 4s put together. This would make him 20 decillion 706.
Which means that this dude would have had to have gotten a of a Zenkai boost in that short of a time with no sense be, no resurrection, no what the
61 nonillion, 862 octillion, 369 septillion, 829 sextillion, 696 quintillion times stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku in the Buu Saga.
I didn't know it was that kind of tillions out here, damn.
Oh yes, GT Goku is absolutely insane, and it barely stops here. In my next part, I'm going to be going over other feats that makes him multiversal, if not complex multiversal, and things that give him infinite and inaccessible speed. And then after that video, I'm going to make a full Dragon Ball Super power scale, and then I'm going to compare both and give you guys a definitive answer on who would win, Dragon Ball GT or Dragon Ball Super. If you guys did like this video, go ahead and drop a like and consider subscribing, because I'm planning to make more content like this in the future. And if you haven't followed my Instagram or TikTok yet, go ahead and do that. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. See ya.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. We have got to watch this. We got to see this in full to really get good, because I want to hear this dude's theory as far as like what he thinks between like Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball GT's power level scales, especially to where things are now. Some people still argue that Super Saiyan 4 is still stronger, and I don't know if this was fan-based, how much to the fans of GT or in general, but there was a scene in Dragon Ball FighterZ, if you played it, Gogeta Super Saiyan 4 clashes a Kameo wave with Gogeta Super Saiyan Blue, and Super Saiyan 4 won. I'm like, how? That blew my mind. But guys, what did you think of this video? Do you think it all lined up? Do you think it was accurate? Or to everybody out there too, let me know what your thoughts are. What was your opinion on it? To everybody out there, we can agree to disagree, but by all means, guys, drop them comments below and let your boy know exactly what you like, or what did you like to see out of this video, and what did you believe? Do you believe that this stuff matches up? Do you feel like, it's a bit over exaggerated? Are you a GT fan? Are you a Dragon Ball Z fan? All of those guys, please drop them comments below to everybody. It's your boy Heemscast Gaming signing out. I'll see you guys soon with more content to everybody out there. Peace till the next video.